welcome to 1000 PS. We are in Austria. It is absolutely perfect conditions on an absolute beautiful, perfect bit of road. And we've been riding BMW's new F450 GS for a couple of days now, just to get a feel for it. Now, we've already ridden the bike on its world launch. I rode it in Sicily and it was absolutely biblical. We rode it on road and off road, through rivers and everything, so I've got a good idea of what to expect. But what I didn't do was get a really good ride on the road version with the standard wheels, non-spoked, and the standard bike with the standard bars and the standard seat in absolute beautiful conditions like we have here, because it was absolutely biblical rain. So we've got the trophy model, which means price is 7765 if I remember rightly, so let's call it 7.8 between friends. And it means we've got the clutchless changing, no need to use the clutch. I will show you that very shortly. I'm just going to get past this local. There we go. In terms of power, parallel twin, is it 421cc off the top of my head? 47 horsepower. So it's A2 compliant, but it's right on the limit of what an A2 bike can be. So an A2 bike can be 47 horsepower, but it can't be any less than, I think it's 178 or 177 kilograms there or thereabouts. And that's basically what BMW have done. They've kind of gone, right, so what's the maximum power? 47 horsepower. What's the minimum weight? About 180. So that's where we'll go. That's our kind of drawing board. That's our benchmark. So in terms of a power to weight ratio, this is the best bike in the A2 class of adventure bikes. Built in partnership with TVS, which some might frown upon, but it just feels like a GS. So you've got the familiar GS clocks, the navigation wheel, the familiar kind of, let me pay attention, the familiar BMW switchgear. This being the trophy model, we've got a few accessories, including the easy clutch. So the base bike is 6.7ish, 6.8ish, under 7,000, but this is a little bit more. As I say, we're on the standard wheels with Maxxis rubber, 19-inch front, not a 21 that a few people were expecting. And we're just rolling it through these beautiful hills here in Austria. Ooh, steady way through there. Brakes feel really good. Feels really light, especially for an adventure bike. Now, I've ridden it off-road before in Sicily, and I know it's good off-road. What's quite nice is that I've still got a clutch, should I want it, to pop the wheelie over obstacles and things like that. But this is just a gentle kind of road ride of showing you what to expect. I've got a lean sensitive ABS, a lean sensitive traction, which is a big talking point, because it's the only bike in this A2 adventure class that's got that. That is so flickable. So I've got the mode button on the right hand side, so that's top right of the dash. I've got road, enduro and enduro pro, which is a optional extra, and rain. Just leave it in road. I can turn the traction off with one button, isn't when I'm riding, so that's traction off, traction back on. I got heated grips. I've got adjustable suspension. Take it a little bit steady because You get buses up and down this road, believe it or not, that just take everything. Oh, it's just so agile and so much fun. Suspension works really well. You kind of sat on the bike. The seat height is not as tall as some, but taller than others. I think it's 8.45 off the top of my head. But you still feel very upright, very on the bike, and the screen's quite low and not that big. So when you get to do the motorway miles, which it's more than capable of doing, the wind protection isn't brilliant. No cruise control on this model. But that road is awful and it's coping really well. And what I need to show you is throughout this ride I have not used the clutch as yet, and you don't need to. So I could stop and start in any gear, I mean preferably first or second, move away, and when I start the bike I don't need to use the clutch to get going, like a scooter basically. Sorry, but look at that. One of the great bits about working for 1000 PS is the roads that they get on their doorstep. You wouldn't get anything like this in the UK. It is perfect, and it's kind of almost perfect adventure bike territory, especially the little A2 bikes. So we're just going to turn around here. I'll just signal to that guy so he knows where we're going. We'll do it in third. So check blind spot, we're good. Third gear, no clutch, turn around, job done. Check again. So I'll put it in neutral, still not use the clutch. I mean, look at that. Look at the waterfall. Okay, so what we're going to do is put it in first with no clutch and set off. That's it. I could even put it in second and set off. And if I go into a gear too high, I get a little arrow at the bottom of the gear selector. So I'm in 5th, 41k, going uphill, and it's going, no, you need to go down. It'll still pull it. Select a lower gear. It'll still do it. And then I could go through the gears again, not using the clutch. It's very simple, very easy, kind of almost like a scooter. And there's some big advantages to this. So one advantage is I don't have to use the clutch to stop, start around town, so it's a little less fatigue, you could say, which is a bit, I could go with that argument. But the big one for me is you can't stall, and your left hand doesn't have to do anything, it just holds onto the bar. So when you're riding it off-road, it's much easier. Like, I've ridden it off-road in boggy rivers and everything, and what's brilliant is you can't stall it, it just keeps going, just keeps chugging along. It's good, isn't it? And if I want, I can switch that off and still use the clutch to, you know, give it a little boost of acceleration, little wheelie. So I've still got a clutch to play with should I want to balance it somewhere, you know, at low speed. The disadvantage of the system is you can't leave it in gear on a hill. So normally if you was on a hill like this to stop to take a picture of this beautiful road, you'd leave the bike in gear to stop it rolling backwards. You can't do that. And there's no, like on some scooters you have like a lock on the front brake to stop it rolling backwards, which this doesn't have. In terms of power, we've said it's A2, it's 47 horse. I mean, it's zipping up here. Working really well. Brakes are strong. But all the bikes kind of in this A2 class of adventure bikes are all there or thereabouts 44, 45, 46, 47 horsepower. Most of them are 47, this is. But this feels a lot quicker because it's lighter. It's right on that limit of the power to weight ratio. So because you've got 47 horsepower pulling less weight, it feels so much faster and more agile and nimble. Cheers, matey. I mean, I hope they make a supermoto version. Maxxis rubber works well, which I'm quite surprised by, because when I rode the bike on the lodge, we only got to ride in the wet and I couldn't push the performance of the tyres and the handlers. This is the first time I've kind of had a bit of a fun zippy ride, if you want to call it that, zippy. And it is so good, almost supermoto like. That is so good. The clocks, because we're going into a 50. Usual BMW excellent clocks with loads of information, just like a GS. Probably the best clocks in the market. I mean, you've got absolutely everything you need. And I was quite surprised when I first rode this bike that BMW have gone and used these clocks, because they're absolutely brilliant, and it must cost them a fortune to put this high level of clocks on an entry level GS. Ooh, entry level, yeah. I mean, the old 310 thing, that was terrible. This is just feels like a GS. What's also that I love about this bike is some of the other bikes in this class feel like big adventure bikes with little engines, where this just feels like it's got its own spirit, its own class, its own way of riding. Luggage and the rear room and solid panniers not available as yet. That's a bit of a faux pas that a few people have brought up. And the spokes wheels that we had on the launch that look really cool, not seen as yet. Something, they were available, now they're no longer available, so depending when this video goes live. But I think the spoked wheels just look so much better. And then the only other thing is this bike in this spec is like near enough 7.8, which I don't think is too bad. But you can put like the rally seat, the bar risers, a few more accessories, and you can easily get to 8 grand. And then I reckon once you put some wheels on it and tick some more boxes, you could probably get to 9 grand, which is starting to get expensive. But for me, this is the best A2 adventure bike in the market right now. And the only other bikes that would tempt me away are the Chinese built bikes, because they're so much cheaper. Needs a bigger screen, it needs a little bit more comfort for the real longevity for big journeys. Cheers, mate. I think it looks great as well. I think the trophy edition is the one. And you don't need to thrash it.